Thank you so much for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to present today. So today I'll be sharing what we've learnt about the triggers of psoriasis through mySkin, our online platform co-developed with the Psoriasis Association, where people with psoriasis are able to share their lived experiences. So as you may already be aware, psoriasis can be triggered by factors including your genetic code, so that's things like your DNA, and also the environment. Today, I'll be focusing on the environmental triggers of psoriasis. So first, we wanted to understand the current scientific literature for environmental psoriasis triggers. We performed a comprehensive review of the literature using 3 major research databases. We found 81 studies related to environmental triggers for psoriasis, both looking at the onset and worsening of psoriasis. So for psoriasis onset, the 3 most commonly reported environmental triggers in the literature were smoking with 18 studies, drugs with 15 studies, and infection with 11 studies. For worsening of psoriasis, the 3 most commonly reported environmental triggers in the literature were drugs, medications with 7 studies, infection with 7 studies, and climate with 5 studies. Now, these findings are consistent with what we already know about environmental triggers in psoriasis. Now, we wanted to better understand the perspective of people with psoriasis and their lived experience of psoriasis triggers. So over a period of time and in a bit more detail. We also wanted to better understand the interaction between our genes and the environment in psoriasis. So we launched the mySkin study. It's a UK-wide online platform launched in 2023 and co-designed with people with psoriasis, where people with psoriasis can share their lived experience. Earlier this year, we published our very first paper from the mySkin study, and for anyone who's got a smartphone, you can scan this QR code here in the bottom corner to read the summary which is on the Psoriasis Association. So this paper has the findings from our first 6 months of the study, looking at the environmental psoriasis triggers as reported by our mySkin community. I'll just leave this on there for a minute in case anyone wants to scan the QR code whilst I'm chatting through. So in this study, there were 529 people with psoriasis, in whom we identified triggers for psoriasis onset and worsening. 65% were female, with an average age of 51 years old. 88% had plaque psoriasis, and the average duration of psoriasis was 29 years. So starting with triggers for psoriasis onset, well, the 3 most common triggers for psoriasis onset were number 1, stress, reported by almost 60%. 2, infection, reported by nearly 30%. And 3, skin injury, reported by just over 10%. Moving on to triggers for psoriasis worsening. So the 3 most common triggers for psoriasis worsening were number 1, stress, reported by almost 95%. 2, climate, reported by just over 2/3. And 3, low mood, reported by just over 1/3. And these findings are summarized here. So the most common triggers for psoriasis onset, again, were stress, infection, and skin injury. And for psoriasis worsening were stress, climate, and low mood, with stress being the most common trigger for both onset and worsening. Almost 1 in 3 people in the study screened positive for anxiety or depression, and this really highlights the real importance of exploring and understanding the impact on psoriasis on mental health and the mental health burden. Now, what's interesting are the similarities and differences in what's documented in the current scientific literature and what our mySkin community have told us about triggers for psoriasis onset here on this slide, and similarly for psoriasis worsening here. This shows the importance of including people with psoriasis in our research and highlights just how much more there is to learn, which we hope to do through mySkin. So we're celebrating 2 years of mySkin with over 1,000 people with psoriasis engaged in our mySkin community across the UK. We've published 1 mySkin paper already, with another one currently under review, and hopefully many more to come. At the moment, mySkin is a web-based platform, but we're currently developing the mySkin app, which we're planning to launch at the end of the year, so watch this space. And through the app, we'll be asking people with psoriasis to share their experience, and we hope to feed back to these people as well. So to stay in the loop with the mySkin study, you can head to our website, which is myskin.org, and head to the Discoveries and Publication page on our website, which has summaries of the data we've collected and all of our recent papers. So hot off the press, here is a snapshot of the latest data of our over 1,000 people engaged in the community. So you can see the average age currently is 50. The average age of psoriasis onset is 23 years. We've got, the spread of psoriasis severity. So a lot of people at the moment have clear, nearly clear, mild, moderate severity, sex, smoking status, whether people have psoriatic arthritis, which is a type of a condition related to psoriasis. And again, you can see kind of what treatment people are on. So a lot of people are on creams. There are a few people on these injection and biologic medications that Dr. Pink spoke about earlier. The types of psoriasis, commonly plaque psoriasis, and the triggers. So stress is still the #1 for both onset and also worsening. And you can also follow us on Instagram. It's at mySkinStudy, and this is just a snapshot of our Instagram. We're also celebrating over 1,000 followers too, so lots of milestones. We would love for you to join us on this exciting journey and the next stages of the study. So we're actively recruiting people with psoriasis to join our mySkin community to help us understand psoriasis better. You can sign up on the web address here. And just want to say a huge thank you to everyone in this room that might have already signed up. We couldn't have done this without you and the support from the Psoriasis Association. So thank you so much, and we hope to see more of you involved. And just to finish off, at the St. John's Institute of Dermatology, we are really keen to involve people with psoriasis in our research to shape our research. You may have heard of the newer weight loss medications known as the GLP-1 agonist injections. That's semaglutide, like Ozempic, or tirzepatide, also known as Mounjaro. And we're exploring whether these GLP-1 agonist injections could help people with psoriasis. And so we would love if you have a few minutes over the coffee break to scan this QR code to fill in a very quick survey. Thank you very much.